What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings on eBay. Today, I want to go over sort of my haul for garage sales and Plato's Closet to give you an idea of the items that I purchased and also give you a weekly profit and sales update, which I'm going to be doing every Friday now. I'm going to do garage sales, and then I'm also going to show you guys exactly what I purchased to give you an idea of how to grow your store. I think it should be pretty obvious from what I'm buying, what you guys can do locally. What's going on? Awesome. Just pulling up the chat, guys. Sorry, I should have done that before I went live. Okay, so the first thing that I did was this week in sales, I did around $1,500, which is really slow for me. I haven't had a less than a $2,000 week for a long time, but I think we might be, quote unquote, the summer slowdown. I don't know. I don't necessarily rely on that, but I do think it's a reality that June is one of the slower months of the year. So it's given me an opportunity to build my inventory because I haven't been shipping that much stuff. I had a lot of time to list, and I just want to go over some of the items that I'm building up for winter. So ultimately, guys, the goal for me is to get to 500 to 1,000 listings up every single week. I'm trying to build a resale business that can process 500 to 1,000 items per week. And I'll go over some of my processes today so you guys can get an idea of exactly what I'm doing. Bread and butter items. Of course, I'd love to sell all high-end, fast-moving, rare items, but the reality for me is I don't have a brick and mortar shop, and I don't have the processes in place to get that much of that inventory, nor do I have the money to really pay up for 500 to 1,000 items per week. So I'm relying, because of that, I want to learn how to do the volume. I'm buying some cheaper items. So Plato's Closet was having a $3 clearance day. And so for me, what I was doing is I'm really trying to learn jeans because jeans are so abundant. And I'm able to get jeans between 50 cents and $3 pretty consistently, either from garage sales or half off days or whatever. So at the first thing I bought at Plato's Closet was probably 30 pairs of jeans for about $50. So I'm learning a lot of different girl brands, which is great because when you're in the item only $1 to $3, there's not a big room for error. Even with the flat rate mailer at $5, you're still breaking even. I'm sorry, at $10 free shipping, you're still breaking even, which is a very low barrier to entry to learn how to sell clothes. In my 10,000 item store, I don't know if you guys know, but I am aiming to have 1,000 pairs of jeans in my portfolio of items. So this is 30 or so pairs of jeans. I'm just gonna move those to the side. I've probably listed 15 or 20 pairs of jeans today. They're really, really easy to list, and I actually think that it's one of the easier items to teach somebody to list for you. I'm just going to adjust my screen really quick. Jason's asking how many items I have listed. Around 3,000 right now. And I'm right in that like 0.5% a day, maybe 15 sales a day. So pretty slow sell through right now, but it just depends really on the types of items. Electronics for me are selling a lot faster than 1 month. Most of my electronics or video games are selling within 30 days. Most of my clothing is selling even less than 0.5%. I picked up a bunch of jackets, anything Nike, anything bigger sized at Plato's Closet. And then at a certain point, I was stacking. They have a 5-star point reward system here. So for every $25, you get another $5 off. And so I was basically reusing that reward over and over again. Plus, if you spend $400 at Plato's Closet, using that promotion, you get 20% off your entire order. So if I were to time it right on these Plato's Closet deals, I could probably get clothing items for about $1, which is pretty cheap. And then hiring my lister to help me get onto the internet, I'll be in the items $3. Not too bad. Can't really lose because Plato's Closet has already done some homework. So they're not buying items. Generally, they're going to sell less than $10 unless the style is good. And if the style is good, then it helps me learn what's in season, what they're buying. So I purchased about $150 worth of Plato's Closet, but the original MSRP was $600. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see the receipt in case you were wondering. So that's the clothing that I bought. This is actually a pretty cool Fred Flintstone crew neck. What do you guys think? That's pretty sweet. So bunch of clothing. I've listed a lot of it. So my process for clothing has changed a little bit. It's adapted. So now I actually store my items in these clear containers with my bin number on it. I was storing it in the shipping receptacle, but I changed to this this plastic bag for a couple of reasons. One, I can double check the item before I send it, and since I'm gonna have listers list for me, I want one more check to make sure that we're not sending the wrong item. If it was me, since I care about my business more than a lister, I'm probably less likely to package the wrong item or the wrong number, but I just want to have an extra check-in. So if I put the jeans in this 9.5 by 12 clear bag, which costs about 3 cents, there's a link in my bio if you guys want to buy the same one, but basically it's a 9 by 12 plastic bag that seals. And I'll actually seal one for you guys right now so you can get an idea of my exact process. So once jeans are listed, I assign a tag to it, and then I get these plastic bags, I'll fold it in the bag, and then I'll squeeze all the air out of this bag, and I'll actually seal it. So I'm squeezing all the air out of the bag to seal it, but it's still not airtight. So basically what this does is, yeah, sorry that it's super loud, but basically it's sealed tight because I'm pulling it shut, and that allows me to fit more items in each bin, but it's not airtight, so it still allows air to go in and out of it. You don't want clothes to get moldy or, I mean, I'm not in that type of an area where that matters, but some people, they may have mold issues, so, or odor issues if you trap something in an airtight container. So this is nice because it saves space, but then it's also protected. So then I clip my location tag back on it, and later I'll go back into my filing system and I will reorder these. So another reason why I picked a 9.5 by 12 bag and not a bag that's larger, because like if you guys follow Luke, Endless Entrepreneurs, he uses a larger 12 by 15 bag that everything fits into. I use a smaller bag for this reason. Let's see. Okay, this is the reason. So this is a pretty large pair of jeans. It's like it's a plus size men's pair of jeans. It's a Harley Davidson and it just sold. Now, this is packaged a little bit poorly, but it is cheaper for me to ship in a non-padded flat rate envelope. But here's the thing, if I'm gonna ship in a non-padded flat rate envelope, I still wanna add a little bit more protection to it so it doesn't get destroyed during the shipping process, because these bags are really flimsy. If you're gonna use the paper bag, I recommend double bagging it in a clear bag. Or if you wanna spend 50 cents more and use the padded flat rate envelope, I would do that. It just depends on what kind of margins you're working with. If you're selling a lot of cheap stuff, that 50 cents does matter. If you're selling more expensive stuff, you may want to go for the padded. The padded is also a better experience. But even though this is a size 40 by 30 pair of jeans, it's still going to fit in this padded flat rate pretty easily. And so this is going to go without me altering the envelope. It's going to fit. Although I'm going to use clear tape and tape over the seams, which is not USPS rules. I think it's only against USPS rules to actually alter the envelope. So again, this is not a premium experience. If you're selling something expensive, you should probably use a padded flat rate envelope. But these jeans I sold for $20, which is sort of my threshold for it's not a premium item generally. So I haven't had any complaints or negative feedback for an item received in this condition, but I will fully agree with you, the people that say this does not look nice compared to a padded flat rate envelope. I mean, that's obvious. You can't really argue that. But it is 50 cents cheaper, and that adds up on cheap items. These bags are 9 by 12 poly mailers. That's the name of it. I have a link to it in my link tree below if you want to check it out. I get an affiliate commission if you guys buy that. If not, totally cool. You can also use sandwich bags, but with the sandwich bags, I can't pull them tighter to save more space. So that's why I switched to these sealable poly bags. And they also have the suffocation warning on them. So if you guys want to send stuff into Amazon, it's required to have the suffocation sticker on there. Okay, so that's it for clothing. It takes me about 3 minutes to list a pair of jeans because all I'm doing is taking the 6 pictures and uploading a draft that I've created on my computer. I'll either use Dropbox and take a picture with my phone, it shows up on my computer, I'll drag it in, or I like actually uploading the photos one by one while I package the item, just to make sure, having the item in front of me, I can double check and confirm it's the right one. If I forgot a measurement or something, you can go back and fix it. And for me, listing it one by one has reduced the errors almost to zero. It's not as fast as batching, but also it's just, for me as a one-man show for now, I don't have enough capital to just go buy wholesale and start hiring listers. Plus, to be honest, I've already tried that with super, super cheap items. Okay, let me take that statement back. I can afford the higher listers with super cheap items, but I'm trying to get my average sale price up to $60, and I don't have enough money to buy thousands of $60 items, not yet. So right now it's a mix of both. The cheap items, I have enough time to list them, and we'll get into some of the more expensive items. Today I purchased a DVD writer. It's a recording device. This is pretty cool. And the guy that I bought this from actually had a bunch of electronics. I bundled 4 items together for $110. So I did pay up for these electronics. This, so the 4 items for $110, let's say it's $28 each, right? So this right now on Amazon, I can't sell this as new condition, even though it basically is new. It's never been used before. And the bag with the remote is sealed. Like, this person, he's never even used this item one time. But I can't send it into Amazon as new. I'm not about to get my account suspended over one item. It's not worth it. But this is selling for $450 new on Amazon and $110 pre-owned. I'm probably going to send it in the FBA, but if I decide to sell it on eBay, for the used ones are selling for about $160, and the new ones on eBay are selling for about $225. So on eBay, I'm going to list this as new, but other details, right? So new with defects or something, and just say that the box has been opened. And I'm going to put in there that I opened the box to inspect it and then take the photographs, but the item is unused. So new but unused is the condition of this. As far as this goes, I've had a lot of returns on these types of items. So I'm glad that the margin is super high to absorb some of that, but there's a lot of people that are switching items. So I just put in my listing now that I have marked the items so that I know if you, so I actually don't know a great way to word this, but I just put in here, I'm marking the items so that you can't return, you can't do the switcheroo. I'm not going to tell people how I marked them either, because if I get it back a different item, at least I'll have some type of evidence, like this is not the one I sent. The one I sent, I put a smiley face on, and this one has no smiley face, or whatever. I haven't figured out a way to totally enter this market. If I do a serious volume of these, I'm going to expect 5 to 10% returns, which is insane to me compared to the other types of items I sell, which is sub 3% for returns. And 5 to 10% returns on items that are a few $100s, that's kind of scary. So should get my $110 investment back with just this one item. Even on Amazon FBA for a pre-owned item, I get $110. So that was sort of where I wanted to be when I was negotiating, but we just ended there anyway. So the next piece is this Sony VCR. Which is nice, and it's cool because I was able to test a VHS that he actually had at his place. I don't have a hookup for a VCR convenient, right? So it was nice. I was able to plug it in and see if it worked at his place, which is fantastic. Does not have the remote. Already ordered the remote on. I used the ordered the remote on eBay for $5, which is great. Scott says I can also use a black light marker. That's a great idea. I might do that so that people will not do it. So Amazon Star 99 is saying 5% returns, but if you describe properly, you shouldn't get over that. I agreed. I just want to plan a 5 to 10% return and build that in, right? With clothing, it's 3%. With video games, it's like, for me, 3 to 5%. So I just want to plan ahead. I'm new to the vintage electronics category, but it's very lucrative so far, and they're everywhere. It's one of the items that Craigslist Hunter talks about, the fact that they're a pain in the ass, so a lot of people don't sell them. Let's see. Let me move this clothing. I also picked up a flip camera. I think you got, actually, I'll just grab it for you. I picked up a flip camera today. I sold the last one that I got for $150 on Amazon FBA. But they're selling, this one is pre-owned. I think I can get $50 for it on eBay pretty easily. And I have way less returns with used stuff like this. So I'm pretty confident with this. I paid up for it, paid 15 to sell for 50. It's kind of right on the button for me trying to sell for 3 times as much. Little scary when it comes to electronics because there is returns a little bit more. Ed's bringing up a good point right now that I should probably make note of the serial number. Great idea. So again, new to electronics, the profit margin's there. Most of the electronics I'm picking up are selling for 10 times what I'm paying for them at a garage sale or at Goodwill. Those are also items I can negotiate pretty easily because they take up a lot of space. I haven't, it's more difficult to negotiate something that doesn't take up a lot of room and has a high attention. But VCRs, they don't take a lot. They take up a lot of room and they don't have a lot of attention. So great items to bulk bundle in. Cool. I'm learning books for Amazon. So these are not books though. This is a DVD set of Lord of the Rings. So it's a little bit weird. I had to put my tag on the side of it like this in my item, but I do like having 20 different items in each bin. So when this is mixed up with clothing and electronics and whatever, it'll be easy to find. I purchased this for $3.50, selling for 20 or something. So definitely at least doubling my money, which is the goal with this. Cool. So the find of the day is definitely this Marantz record player. Oh, I also got this Tommy Hilfiger vintage piece. I already washed it. It had a stain on it that I was worried about not getting out. So as soon as I got home, I stain treated it. I threw it in a cold wash, and then I dried it. And then now I'm wearing it just I definitely don't mind wearing rocked clothing as long as I wash it first. But anyway, this is going to be my first piece on grailed.com, which is another forum that you can sell more vintage wear. Okay. This is the piece of the day. It's a Marantz 6100 record player. Very, very cool item. I now know after putting it on Instagram that the needle is broken. And probably I ruined this record by using a broken needle on this record. And all this old stuff is really fragile, so you need to be careful. I think I'm only missing one piece on this record player, which is some type of identifier on this knob right here, but this knob doesn't do anything. There's no volume control on this. It doesn't have any speakers built in. I actually don't know how analog stuff works. Like this is from, I am pretty old, but I still don't know how record players work really beyond the basics. So I know if you basically remove this latch, I don't know if you guys can see this okay. I purchased, so this is a $23 find according to my other thing. If you pull this off, the disc will start spinning, and then basically there's an auto lowering device. Hold on one second. So I don't know if you guys can hear that. Um, but there's a little bit of a buzzing sound, so that's definitely from the needle being damaged. I looked on eBay. These needle replacements are about 30 bucks, not too bad. The soles on this guy are around $400, 200 to 400, depending on condition. This one's actually pristine. It's perfect. So looks like it's brand new. Hasn't been used too much. It also has the auto retracting arm, which is pretty cool. So once you raise the arm, you can click this reject button or lever, and it'll turn off and it will return back to its place, and you just shut the latch again. Very, very, very cool. I'm not necessarily an audiophile, but I think that would be amazing to have as a piece if I like listening to records. There's a lot of LPs. The guy that that I bought the record player from, I actually bought both of his record players. He had this one. He also had this Sanyo one up here, which is basically worthless. Nobody cares about Sanyo. They break really easily, and they're not a premium product. So I bought both this guy's record players, and he wouldn't even let me look at his LP collection, which is unfortunate. He also had these things called V-Discs, which are old. I had to message Chad Golden Fingerpicker and a couple other people to ask what V-Discs are. V-Discs are sort of like the government would invite people. This is from my understanding. I don't know shit. The government would invite people in to like sing or perform to the army. And he had a bunch of these things and would not let me even look at them. So he said he wanted $20 a piece, and I was looking on eBay, and there was really none really over $20 retail. So you can't buy it for 20 and sell it for 20 plus. That seems like a long tail item, and he didn't want to sell it to me because probably I can't appreciate it like he does. Totally understandable. And to be honest, I'm not fully appreciating how awesome this Marantz record player is, but I'm looking online and I'm watching other people play it, and it sounds amazing. Even mine that's broken sounds pretty cool. So hope this guy, I'm gonna hop off in just a second, but if you guys have any Q&A, please throw it in the chat right now. If you guys have any other finds from today, or you have any questions about my process, please let me know. I'll do some Q&A right now before I hop off and run to the post office. I don't usually go to the post office. I have a pickup, but they don't like when I sell heavier items. So I have a couple VCRs and another DVD recorder going out. So I'm gonna drop those off. So Donna is saying this record player needs to be hooked up to speakers. You're right. There is a speaker hookup on the, that's included. So I picked up a Kenwood speaker system, so maybe I can hook it all up together and I'll have a nice little vintage system. But I don't think I need to set it up as far as trying to sell it, because I know that this record player will sell in less than 30 days for sure. There's only one or two on eBay, and it seems like they sell immediately when people post them. Luis is asking, how many items do I need to average about 10 items a day? I don't understand that question. Let's see. What's up, DJ? What's up, Mo? Let's see. I am going to eBay Open, so if you guys want to hang out in Vegas next month, let's check it out. Nice. Reggie Thompson found an iPod for $5 that's worth 40 on eBay. That's awesome. I just talked about in my my sold video a couple days ago how I sold a limited edition red iPod for 40 that I purchased for 5.2, right on the money. Oh, how many items in total do you need to sell? About 10 items a day? It depends on what type of items you have. So for example, if you had 30 Marantz record players, you'd probably sell all 30 every month, right? Because they're so rare, so desirable, people want it. But if you have jeans, right? And there's 2 million jean listings on eBay. You probably need 3,000 to 5,000 pairs of shitty jeans to sell 10 a day. If you had nice jeans, like desirable ones that people wanted, you'd probably need, a minimum of 1,000, I would think, because clothing is relatively a slow category. The only reason I'm even messing with clothing is it doesn't take very much capital, and I want to build up and see what it looks like to have a large store and a maxed out anchor account as far as active listings. Mrs. Hafapino asks or says she has some Nike replacement cleats that she wants to list. Nice. So we should definitely hook it up. Let's see. Yeah, if you want, you guys can check out the video in a second. It's already over. Sorry for the people who are arriving late. If you guys want to help me out, hit the like button while you're here. I would very much appreciate it. I don't ask very much during our videos because I do think it's a little annoying when people ask like 10 times. Yeah. So Chrissy Flip and Lou is selling 1 to 2 packages a day with 200 active listings. It sounds about right. Clothing is not very fast. All my electronics sell within 30 days. So if I have 200 listed, I'm gonna sell 3 to 5 a day with other categories. It just depends. Clothing is notoriously a longer tail item unless you're buying really, really nice stuff. You guys know my Patreon and my Instagram, I shared that store that had, and in my previous video, that has horrible pictures, and they're still selling a third of their items every single month with clothing. They're just buying the most desirable clothing right now. What's trending? Let's see. It's not always 1 a day. So for example, you guys know Luke, Endless Entrepreneurs. He's running at 0.5%. All of his stuff is just bread and butter stuff that's gonna sell for X amount. Plus, dress shirt season. I'm a dude. I haven't bought a single dress shirt. I don't buy any dress shirts in the summer, right? So it's not that I'm a sample size of the entire United States, but if you guys use the growth tab in the eBay tools, you can see what's selling right now and buy more of what's in season right now. But 1 for 100, that's a normal sell-through rate. That's actually, in my opinion, if you sell 1 out of every 100, you're doing a pretty good job because that's still 1/3 of your inventory every month, which is very healthy. Most eBay sellers would be happy if they sold 1/3 of their items every single month. So I'm going to be scaling. My capacity right now is probably 300 to 350 listings a week, and I want to get that to 500 to 1,000. But here's the caveat: as I start selling more expensive items, it takes more work to get listed because there's more stuff involved. Like for a pair of jeans, you don't need to test anything. It's not going to break. It's not fragile. You could, when you're done, you can store it in a bag like this, and it's ready to ship out. There's no more additional work. There's no testing. I don't need to verify the authenticity, probably. Very little work involved and very little cost. Whereas like these record players, these electronics, I paid up today an average of $28 per item, right? So I got 1 electronic instead of 28 pairs of clothing, right? Totally different. And the profit margin is actually even better on the electronics. So I'm gonna make more money off of 1 item than I am off of 28 pairs of jeans. But I'm trying to scale as far as like having my inventory grow so I can get a steady amount of sales. So at 10,000 listings, ideally, I'll be able to get 100 sales a day. How do I like being full-time? I love being full-time. I like working for myself. I'm not having an issue with motivation because life is short. So I'm waking up ready to go. I'm hustling all day long. Like I'm trying to also make videos because I like the community aspect, but really I would make a lot more money if I just listed 10 more items instead of doing YouTube. I just like doing YouTube, but it doesn't make sense financially. Like even if I list 10 items that only make $10, that's $100 of time that I'm spending to make this YouTube video. But again, I like the community. I really like sharing ideas and building the community. I'll tell you guys for sure, what I've made the most money on in this whole reselling journey is that the community has been telling me what stuff to buy. That's made me more money than Patreon, than AdSense, than anything. People are saying, hey, you need to buy like Marantz. I didn't know about this record player, right? I pay $28 for it. The comps are 400, right? That's a lot. If you could get 10,000 of those items, you would be a millionaire real quick. So just depends. But then again, today I talked to people who have never found a Marantz and they've been garage selling like their whole lives and never found one, right? So you never know. I will get there. I'm about 3,000 right now. Edward Lamborghini is saying that it'd be crazy to maintain 3,000 new items a month. You're right. I think it's going to be between 500 and 1,000 a week, right? So between 2,000 and 4,000 items per month is what I'd be trying to maintain. And obviously, you can't do that by yourself. You'd have, unless you can do it by yourself with Amazon FBA, actually pretty easily. You can just order the stuff, it'd arrive at your house. You would check it and you would send it in the FBA. Or you could even send it to a fulfillment center. They would get it ready and send it in the FBA. You can do 3,000 new listings a month by yourself on Amazon. With eBay, I think it takes about 4 people. And also, I want to have a $60 average sale price. So this is also pretty obvious. Like, a lot of people are asking me if my parents have money. That's a weird question to me. My parents don't have money. If my parents had money, I wouldn't sell used clothing. I would sell expensive stuff because I could make 10 times the amount of money with the exact same amount of work, right? I would have 10,000 nice items instead of 10,000 what I quote junk items that people are willing to donate. That's not the most desirable stuff. I'm literally selling stuff people throw away, right? That's not like a super desirable store. Let's see. What if a package is labeled not for resale? I sell it anyway, for me. Let's see here. You have 40 items in your store and you want to get 100 listed per week. Is it worth it to upgrade to a base? I got a basic store the first day because I was going to list 250 items that month no matter what. And my niche store is almost at 500 listings, which, okay, to be fair, I have a lot of energy and like I really want this to work. So for me, listing 250 items is a week. So there's no reason in my mind if you're doing eBay to not have a basic store because it allows you to run markdowns. And sales work. If people see 50% off, they're going to be more likely to buy than if there's no sale, even if the sale is artificial, right? So just for that very reason, plus you make half of that subscription back with the eBay shipping supplies, and you get a discount on final value fees, I believe. There's no reason to not have a store. Like if I were to get a full-time job again right now, I would still have at least a premium store on the side of 1,000 listings for the $60 a month, because that's an awesome thing. As I grow this low-key husky store, you guys will see it's not that difficult. Okay, I'm not gonna say not that difficult. It's totally doable to make $1,000 a week on the side with a 1,000 item store, as long as your average selling price is $60. If your average selling price is $15, you're gonna have to sell way, 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 way more items. Let's see. Mo was saying you get a lot of benefits from a basic store. I agree. You should definitely have at least a basic store if you're going to sell on eBay. It's only 250 items. Just hustle and get that stuff up there. Even if you just have to practice. You get a free pooled listing allowance as well. That's true. So yeah, if you guys want to put, I'm going to hop off in just a second, but before I go, what do you guys have as a goal for your listings per week? How many listings do you want to put up per week? Right, my current goal is 350 to 400 listings at an average of $10 profit per item. So we're looking at $3,500 to $4,000 worth of profit I'm pumping into my store every single week. That's the goal. And eventually it's going to catch up. Because I feel like I'm buying good quality items that will eventually sell. So I feel like eventually I'm going to be making $350 to $4,000 a week minimum, even just on my own. I don't know, maybe that's not possible. There's a lot of resellers in the community that would like to think otherwise, but so far, nothing has stopped me from getting up 50 listings a day. Alex is asking what my routine is. So I wake up, I have my mastermind calls for my Patreon group. So I'm talking to around 50 resellers in the morning, do that Monday through Friday. Then from 9 to 4-ish, I am either listing or buying stuff. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I have 3 dates with my girlfriend that are not eBay related at all. And then the other days I list and work on other businesses at night because I also have some different projects that I'm working on. other than eBay, YouTube, and actually, it's basically just eBay and YouTube. But my Facebook marketing company, I hired someone to help me with. So I just need to check in and make sure things are going smoothly. Chrissy's doing 30 items a week. She wants to get to 50. Awesome. 200 a week minimum. That's a good goal. 250, you've been selling for 90 days. That's awesome. Nice. Being a top rated seller helps. I still haven't done top rated seller because I miss shipping days, which is totally unprofessional. But like when I'm out sourcing, sometimes I don't get back in time to do the shipping. So I have around a 7% late shipping rate, which is not really acceptable if I'm going to be talking about eBay. So I've been improving that. I think I'll get top rated seller before the end of the summer, which should help my boost. But that's, for me, top rated seller is not as important as having the quality of listings in my store. I'd rather have more listings than top rated seller. But in reality, you can do both. KJ, that 250 goal is money, right on the money. I think that 200 listings a week is a 6-figure income, but it is hard as hell to get 200 listings up every single week consistently. You have to be a hustler. It's not that easy to get that much inventory without a lot of capital. I also got this Pepsi vintage, or this is not vintage, this is probably handmade. But what do you guys think? I think this is a really cool mug. I'm probably just gonna keep it, but I don't think this is a licensed Pepsi mug, but it is very cool. I might have to get some Crystal Pepsi and drink it out of here. All right, guys, I'm gonna head to the post office and drop off these CD players. If you guys have any questions, email me 10konthebay@gmail.com. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and talk to you guys later. Peace.